That is tomorrow.
Hubli, right?
Hubli, yes. So tomorrow I'm leaving to Hubli. So I will not be there on Monday and Tuesday. So we can't do this session on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sri Hari.
Morning, Siri.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
So my question to wife was, what is Sakshi? So my question was, am I going to Hubli on Monday? Oh, sorry, tomorrow. And she said, yes, you are going there, and there is a proof that you are going there. We're going to give a call and confirm that you are in Hubli. So I said, that is conventional reality. For convention, we are going to say, yes, I am going to Hubli. But if I really see, Bangalore also never existed, Hubli also never existed. And the traveling also is not there. The things which are coming on the road is 5 elements. This body is 5 elements, that place is 5 elements, and the people I'm going to be associated with, so-called people, are GV. They are not any person there. So I'm meeting GV only. So what is there in the GV? Ishvara. So basically I'm going to meet Ishvara. So there is no Jagat. Now if I'm meeting Ishvara, can I say I'm moving somewhere or meeting someone?
Ishvara meeting everywhere, anytime.
So I'm not going to Hubli. So for conventional purposes, I can say I'm leaving to Hubli and I'm on leave on Monday and Tuesday as a convention. But from Sakshi, the word Sakshi. So I was telling her, you break the word. Sa Aksha is Saksha. From an inner eye, if you see, that is your consciousness. If you see, nothing is moving anywhere. It is there wherever it is.
Sakshi Bhava you are talking about?
Sakshi Bhava only.
Yeah, there is no age also. It is only Sakshi.
There is nothing which is happening. So I'm not going to Hubli. So what I should do is, tomorrow the moment my cousin comes here and he drives me, I just need to keep on watching whatever is coming and not associate with anything. So if he talks,
It is fantastic.
so if he talks, you just talk. If he doesn't talk, don't talk. And then I'm going to meet my brother and his wife and my niece, and so many people tomorrow will be there. If I consider all of them as GV, I'm not meeting brother, I'm not meeting sister-in-law, I'm not meeting my niece, I'm not meeting anyone. I'm only meeting Ishvara. So there's nobody there.
Yes.
Only you.
It's only me. I'm meeting myself.
Only Sakshi is there.
Only Sakshi is there.
And that you is not going anywhere. So it is there.
It is
everywhere.
there. It's there everywhere. So no going, no coming.
Right. From that standpoint, yes.
From that standpoint. And that is Jivan Mukta.
Yeah,
Yes.
but here question is, it is Sakshi from your side. Now, when your other family member also travels with you, how about them? They also have their Sakshi. These two Sakshis are same or different?
They're different, no? They have ignorance. Even though it is the same one, they are ignorant. They have avidya. So they keep on... Yeah, go ahead.
Sakshi is also the same, but it is veiled by the ignorance.
Correct. They have only ignorance. If they remove the ignorance, they also will feel that they are not going anywhere. They are not coming anywhere, and hence there is no birth and death.
Yeah, if you have that understanding, then you will not do any communication also. There is no need of any communication.
No, you will still do communication, but you will not take it seriously.
No, actually, no, my question is not that. My question is, if you see only from Sakshi Bhava, there is nothing required. No action is required. Because Sakshi is permanent. That is what you.
Yes,
And
that
what
is
is
permanent.
happening outside is the world. And world, you don't want to interact. Means you will not be doing anything there.
No, there is no
There is
world.
no role for you.
No, it's not like that, but there is no world. What it really means from a Sakshi perspective is that you are that real you. He is only going to do karya, not karma.
Hmm.
Meaning, tomorrow my cousin is going to come. Actually speaking, there is no cousin. It is me only.
Yes.
Right? And who is going to take whom where? Me is going to take me nowhere. So there is only karya, no karma.
And also,
So the happiness what you had while going, when you come back, you will have the same happiness here because you have not done any karma.
Exactly.
Karma only gives happiness or the mood change. But
Correct.
here, while going, you are enjoying Paramananda, blissful, and when you come back also, you will have the same thing if you have done karya.
Exactly, and that is what Brahman is all about. Yeah, Lata, you wanted to
So
say
if you do karma, you will have happiness and you will have sorrow.
correct.
If you do karya, you will have blissful feeling throughout.
Yes, you will have a equanimity feeling which is blissful.
Yes.
Yeah, Lata, you wanted to say something.
sorry, I just went to open the door.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, but I forgot now what it was.
Okay.
Yes. Around karya only. Sakshi only.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is, from the Brahman standpoint, there is no world and there is nothing you need to do and so on. But then, since we are embodied beings, we have this body and so on. So it is not possible that we don't do any actions.
Yes, you need
have
to
to
do.
do.
Yeah, you need to do action.
There is no escaping from it, even
No
if you
way.
have Jivan Mukta.
Yes. You need to do it. There is nothing which will say that, okay, I am a Jivan Mukta, so I'll not.
Right.
But that action will be only Krishna Arpanamastu,
Correct.
not mine.
No, what is the meaning of Krishna Arpanamastu is only karya, that's all.
Yes.
Because
Your
the
ego,
Because you don't want any phala out of it.
no.
Without expecting phala.
No, it's not like that. The mind is not grown. So what I should do? I should give it to a higher person. So I will say all these actions are towards my guru. I really appreciate my guru for giving me all of this. So I am doing for my guru so that the ego doesn't get developed.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Now if I already don't have ego, what is there to arpana there? There is no arpana at all.
you are naturally like that without any support.
Exactly.
Finally, the question is, who am I to do arpana? Whatever has come to me, I am giving to somebody because nothing has come to me.
Nothing you possess, nothing you will be possessing. That's all.
Yes.
So it appears to be yours.
Only I came here through Sukshma Sharira. When I entered this world, I have become Stula Sharira. And again, I am leaving this Stula and
Becoming
going back with
Sukshma.
only Sukshma.
Correct.
So Sukshma means there is no material, right? In the Sukshma.
No, there is no material.
No material.
So that is the reason it is called arupa.
So Prarabdha is only applicable when there is a Stulatva.
Yes,
So during deep Nidra, there is no Prarabdha.
absolutely. You can experience it, right?
But do you have Prarabdha during this our dream stage?
Any other stage apart from deep sleep state, you have prarabdha.
Because you are going through emotions there.
You are going through all those memory things which is due to prarabdha. And when you are
But
in
there is no new karma created.
because you don't exist at all in the deep sleep. So where will you
Correct.
create a karma?
No, not the deep sleep, dream.
Dream, yes, you are there. You are the one who is watching the dream.
Yeah, but there's no new karma created in that.
There is no karma created, but there are some people who would like to revisit the dream. saw this in the dream, I saw that in the dream. And that is where the karma gets attached. So even though it is a dream. So that is the thing. So where am I going tomorrow? Nowhere. From where did I come? Nowhere. There is no what we can say origin, and there is no destination. Okay, so we were supposed to go through that shloka. First shloka.
427, huh?
426. That's what you read yesterday.
Yesterday. Today 427, right?
No, we did not cover it. I gave a summary of everything, but I did not cover it. So now this one is all about a Jivan Mukta. So we need to split that word into two parts, Jiva and Mukta. So there are three parts to this story. The first part to the story is Sthula Sharira, which we were talking about. So 5 of us sitting here have a Sthula, and also our so-called near and dear ones are also having Sthula, and the office people also have Sthula, and also people whom we interact on the road in one way or the other are Sthula. Now if by chance you are able to break out that Sthula, how you do it, we already covered it, so you already have the Viveka. But by chance right now you are able to do it. What remains with you is Sukshma, and that Sukshma Sharira is Jiva. So Jivan Mukta means not even possessing the Sukshma Sharira. Because Sukshma Sharira is part of Mithya. So if you are able to leave out, cancel out the Jivi, instead see Ishvara in everyone, then you are Mukta. So as an illustration, tomorrow when I am going to Hubli, if I am able to see not as an imagination, I am really able to see everyone as Ishvara. So that becomes me. Then I am also me only. One me interacting with another me. So there's only me.
In order to do that, we should have found that Ishvara already.
Yes, by now we have found it.
No, that's what, right? So unless and until we find that Ishvara in ourselves, we will not be able to see that Ishvara in others. Otherwise, it will be an imagination only.
Yes, so I can tell my mind, no, he is Ishvara. So when my cousin comes over to my home tomorrow to pick me up, I will pretend that he is Ishvara, or I will try to convince myself that he is Ishvara, but really I don't see any Ishvara out there.
Right.
I don't even see Jivi, forget Ishvara. I see my cousin only.
Right.
That means I am in Jagat.
Correct.
So
my question is, if you have not seen Ishvara, and now if you remember, I think remembering itself when you are having this interaction itself is a great thing.
Correct.
If you remember, if you imagine that is an Ishvara or try to, will it have any effect?
Yes, it will have a Jivi effect rather than Ishvara effect.
Okay, so you will be able to see the Jivi
You are able
without
without
those relationships.
Yes, without those relationships. So you will feel very compassionate to that person, which is better than Jagat.
Correct. So the first step is we need to see the Ishvara in ourselves by doing whatever methods, the Spancha Kosha or any other method. And then once you see the Ishvara in you, then you can And then it is, I think it's automatic. Then you will automatically see the Ishvara and others.
Yes. So if I go by the Buddha teaching, he will get you the Ishvara through dukkha,
Mm.
which is what.
Right. That is one way. So you
That is
see
one way.
suffering or dukkha in everything we do.
Yes.
Anything and everything we do, there is a dukkha attached to it.
Correct.
So if you are able to see that, that is one way. The other ways are, there are many ways. One is that Panchakosha way, or then Raja Yoga way, or Bhakti way, whatever way. But
Yes.
unless and until we see Ishvara, we cannot, only what we can do is imagine.
Yes.
If you remember, when you're having that interaction, you remember consciously, okay, all the theory we remember and then imagine that. Then probably over a period of time it will come.
Yes, it will come.
Okay.
It will come to a level of Savikalpa Samadhi.
Yeah, but at least there will be some improvement.
Yes, yes, absolutely. See, you will end up at Ishvara. You have to go beyond Ishvara, which itself is an achievement.
Right.
See, I am in gross. So tomorrow my cousin coming over, no matter how much I beat myself up, that it is not the cousin who is coming, mind will say, here is your cousin.
Yes.
Because that is what is stored in my memory, mind. So chitta is already vritti. So what the uparati doesn't happen in the intellect, which is buddhi. It attaches with all the five senses and it will look at the cousin and say that, oh, very good, so I am so excited, let us go. But I might have spoken Vedanta the previous day. That has got no change. So I might.
Yeah, it's not a living reality for you.
Yes, it's not a living
For
reality.
any of us.
Yes, so we are in Jagat only, pretending that we are in Advaita.
Yes.
But we are Dvaita, 100%. Okay.
Right.
Now when my cousin comes and I am excited about going to Hubli, shows that I am Dvaiti. No matter how much Shankaracharya I have read, it's okay. Fine. Can be appreciated as an intellectual insight rather than a experiential knowledge. So there is no Sakshi Bhava. Actually what is happening is I am lost in Jagat. So I am asking him, he is supposed to come at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So I keep on messaging him today. Sure that you are going to come at 7? Are we sure we are going to start at 7? That guy gets bugged. My goodness, let me take him. So he comes at 7, then breakfast, and then we drive. So now I am anxious to know when I am going to reach Hubli. And then after all the function is over, I am anxious when I can get back to Bangalore. So yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha, instead of that I am in vritti only, which is Jagat. Now I go one step further to really see that there is no cousin of mine, he is just a GB, which is 50% relief. So I don't really care what time he comes and what time we go and what we eat and where we go. I know that this GV is driving, I am also a GV, so we both are GV. To that extent, it is very good. Now I go to the next level, where I have experienced Ishvara. That is reflected consciousness. I have experienced it, I have seen it. It itself has seen it. So Drig, Drishya, Viveka, Drig and Drishya both are the same. There is no Drig other than Drishya. There is no Drishya other than Drig. So the reflected consciousness itself is a GV. Now there is no I. That ego, ahankara is not there. If I have experienced Ishvara, what will I take my cousin as? With ignorance, GV. It will not go to Jagat, which is far superior than just knowing it as a GV. what if I am liberated, Jivan Mukta? Then there is no Ishvara also. So neither I am going anywhere, nor I am coming anywhere. Mukta. So if for conventional reality, Vilas, don't tell this stupid thing. Aren't you going to Hubli? Conventional reality, yes, I'm going to Hubli. Aren't you meeting your cousins? Yes. I'm going on so-and-so date and coming back on so-and-so date. Conventional reality. But Paramartha, actual, is Hubli is a label, Bangalore is a label, my name is also a label, everyone there also a label. The body is growing because of the food, so there is no person out there. Then there is no GV has come out because of the karma, and the person who is shining on that is the reflected consciousness, which is Ishvara. In that way, I have no cousins, no uncles, no brothers, no sisters, nobody. And hence, there is release. Yes, Padmashri.
If we are having this thought process in our mind, why are we going at all?
Why are we going? Now this one, right? This one will come into thinking that, okay, then why should you do something at all? That is what this prarabdha.
No. Only for this case. Why should you do something at all is not the question. Here, see, this is a case wherein there is this one of going and seeing somebody. It is not about working, or it is not about eating, that kind of an activity.
Right.
It is an activity which is voluntarily taken up by us with the intent to go and see the cousins. Then you still go there, and then would that make any sense to say that I went there, but if you went there without intent, then it's fine. Meaning you didn't have the need to go there, but you went there with the intent.
No,
and
I
now
didn't.
when you're going there with the intent, and then saying I'm seeing people as GV or Ishvara, then the only thing that I'm saying is it's not experiential, because the moment it is experiential, you will not feel the need to go there at all.
No, it's not like that. See, there is a function I need to attend, so I'm just going there. That's all. Simple. So in a very conventional sense, if I were to put, yes, I am going there because there is a need to go there. Now the question comes, why should you go there?
That is what I'm asking.
No. So now the question comes, why there is a need? There is an obligation. Now the question then comes, why there is an obligation? If you're Jivan Mukta, why there is an obligation? Now now there is no answer to that. There is no satisfactory answer that can be given, even if you're a
But
Jivan.
then like this, we can keep doing a lot of things and then keep thinking that I'm doing like that. So it's only in the mind, meaning everybody is released the moment they think that I do what I am doing, but I am seeing everything as Ishvara or beyond Ishvara.
No,
So is that a valid statement to make?
No,
in my opinion, it's not a valid statement.
No, Padmashri, what it is we are doing Chitta Shuddhi. So the Chitta is your consciousness only, or reflected consciousness, or you call it as whatever we want to call our mind. So the English word for Chitta, Mano, Manas and all that is mind only. There is nothing in English we can do. But in our scriptures, Chitta has a different connotation, Manas has a different connotation, ego has a different that is, Ahankara has a different connotation. So now what happens? What are we trying to achieve? So let's try to understand what are we trying to achieve. We are trying to remove the Ahankara, not the other three. You cannot. You as a reflected consciousness cannot remove the other three. You are yourself Chitta. You are the reflected consciousness. So what you are doing, that what the Chitta is doing, a better way to put it, is to remove the klesha, which is impurities, coming into the buddhi, because the buddhi has knowledge, but it has wrong knowledge. It doesn't have a right knowledge. So through jnana, you are giving a right knowledge, that is jnana here in Viveka, to present on the screen, which is the manas, which is the container, only the light, nothing else. So there is no ahankara. That's all we are trying to achieve. You cannot remove chitta out of you because you yourself is a chitta. You cannot remove buddhi out of you because chitta has the buddhi. The only disassociation that the chitta can have is ahankara. I am doing this or I am doing that. That is all we are trying to achieve, or that is what anybody can achieve as Jivan Mukta. Now the other remaining questions. Okay, why there should be an obligation? Why should you do that? Why should you do this? There is no answer which can satisfy, because it's only Chitta Shuddhi. So in the mind, when we say mind, in the Chitta, better words to put, if there is purity, meaning there are no kleshas, the Arishad Varga are not there. That is Raga, Dvesha, Moha, all that are not there. Then the Buddhi, intellect, doesn't have kleshas, doesn't see it as anything to do with relationship or whatever it is. Like I was talking about Hubli and Bangalore and all that, where that is coming. That is coming in the Buddhi. They are not coming in the Ahankara. They are coming in the Buddhi. Because it comes in the Buddhi and Ahankara exists at this point in time in me, I feel I'm going to Hubli for a function and this and that, and there is justification. All that thing is going to happen because there is Ahankara. It just takes itself and says that, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But that problem is from Chitta, not from the Ahankara. But association is done by the Ahankara. Then these three together fall as an image on the screen, which is Manas. So when we say Manas Shuddhi, Manas Parivartana and all that, if whatever we were to connote it in Sanskrit, what it really means is you remove the image what is not required. That is, the Chitta is purified in such a way that it doesn't reflect or it doesn't put on the screen anything other than the pure light. So now there is no relationship or anything. So now it can see both sides, Aviveka and Viveka. Who can see? Buddhi can see what is Aviveka and what is Viveka. Now it can discriminate. So when it says Jagat Mithya and Brahman Satya, or Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya, what Buddhi will take is that it's a reflected consciousness which is making this happen, not by itself is making anything happen. So what it sees is the brightest light it can ever find. Why? Because that Chitta itself is brightest. There's nothing else which is brightest. So where it is reflected on the screen, which is Manas. Who is seeing it? Nobody is seeing it because there is no Ahankara. So in the Jivi, Jagat, Ishvara, if we were to put these three, Jagat comes into existence the moment Ahankara exists along with Buddhi, because it is defiled way of seeing, or we can say impurity way of seeing, because the Chitta itself is impure. So nothing can anybody do about it. Now, when we do Chitta Shuddhi, when we say we are doing or I am doing, what it really means is to cultivate the Chitta not to fall on wrong objects. So that the Buddhi doesn't go in search of that object. The Buddhi job is to intellectualize, meaning to logically place it in a proper way. Whatever the light, wherever the light is falling on that object. So if it falls on my cousin, I, Ahankara, will take it as cousin. Now, if it doesn't fall there at all, then there is no cousin. It's not imagination. It really happens that way because in the Chitta, there is no cousin. So the Buddhi cannot create something which is not there in the Chitta. It will discriminate. So the moment it discriminates, it finds that it is not there. So it will It will not give rise to the ahankara to take it as mine. Oh, this is my cousin, or this is this and this is that. So there is no thing which happens in the chitta which creates a fluctuation in the buddhi. And because there is no fluctuation in the buddhi, there is nothing which is happening in the ahankara. And since nothing is happening in the ahankara, only the buddhi and chitta is reflected in the screen, which is manas. So now if we break it out into these 4 parts, now what we can say about it? Why are you going to Hubli? Why there is a function? Why this? Why that? It is part of where? Discrimination, which is Viveka. Now, there are 2 Vivekas. One is a conventional Viveka, one is a Paramartha Viveka, that is complete reality. So, if the person is already beyond Ishvara, when I say Ishvara means the reflected consciousness, and he sees the reflected consciousness, meaning the reflected consciousness is seen by itself. That's a better way to put it. That is called as self-realization. Now he sees there is nothing else other than the reflected consciousness in anything. That is, if we 5 of us are reflected consciousness. So then you get the abhasa. Abhasa means an experience of the original as a thorough reflection on it. Meaning, all this while I thought that it is me who is doing it. Then I broke that. And then I saw it is a reflected consciousness which is doing it. Now I am amazed at it, that it is not even reflected consciousness, but it is the universal consciousness which is bringing everything into existence. But it is not changing in anything. Whereas the reflected consciousness is changing due to the impurities. Now the impurities are not there. They both become one, which is Bimba and Pratibimba. So the Bimba has no connection with Pratibimba, but Pratibimba being part of Bimba, they both now become the same. So there is nothing like Ishvara also. So if we were to reach to the Ishvara state, that is self-realization state, which doesn't have any defilements or impurities, in that chitta, that itself is the greatest achievement, because the screen will have only the light. It doesn't have anything beyond light. Hope I could answer Padmashri. Otherwise, there is no satisfactory answer that can be provided to anyone, including myself. If I were to ask this question, why am I going? I don't get an answer to that. But this is how we can use Vedanta to break that jinx, that why am I doing something? The question definitely comes, why are we doing? And we are yet claiming that we are spiritual, but why are we doing this? It is quite evident that it is not required. And then we push it on to Prarabdha, saying that because of Prarabdha, but that is not convincing answer actually. So if you break it into 4 parts, that is Chitta.
Yeah, I now understand. Meaning, yes, what you're saying is right. You don't get a convincing answer, and you have to only understand it, or rather answer it through these things.
Yes. And that is what Jnana is all about. So who is getting Jnana? Intellect only. Nobody else is getting Jnana. It's only the intellect which is getting the Jnana through Chitta. Okay, any further discussions? It will be nice. So that's the reason is in the first shloka. And that's the reason yesterday I said it will take 3 months if we really go detailed like this. It's good. Shri Hari, anything you want to comment?
Not much. My one question is, so it is when you said that thing has to be disconnected. But isn't it that the ahankara, can it come up to the mind and tell, I know that I know. So then it becomes little egoistic, right? At some point.
Yes. So again,
Yes. I know that I know. So then it is more coming to its unless the ahankara is handled properly, without without properly disconnecting the chitta, then it becomes more of egoistic. That's what I mean. Just I say.
no, Sri Hari, first of all, you cannot cut off chitta. You can only make it without vritti, without movement, but not cut out. If you cut out, then it is death. What dies? The light stops falling. See, when we call death, so let us understand death, the process of dying. So it becomes very easy to understand the process of living. What comes to life is the reflected consciousness. Agree with me? The bucket example, right? So you have bucket, you have water, and the reflected consciousness is there, correct? Are you okay till here? Sri Hari? Yeah, Sri Hari, I can't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are now audible. Okay. So my question was, Sri Hari, is that in the bucket there is water. The water has 4 parts to it. One is manas, which is the water itself. One is ahankara, which takes the water and the bucket as itself. One is the buddhi, which can discriminate between the water and the bucket. One is the chitta, which reflects on that, meaning there is a sun in that bucket. Right?
Okay, right.
Now, if you throw the bucket, what happens?
Everything is gone, I mean.
No, the chitta is gone. That light is gone, right?
Can you please repeat?
No, what I'm saying is, Sri Hari, if you were to throw the bucket, if you were to just drop the bucket, what happens? Or kick the bucket, what happens? The sun will start to shake, correct?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you throw the bucket out, what happens? If you totally make it inverse, that is, it is towards the sun. Now you totally inverse it and make the bottom come up and the top go down. Now, is there a sun there?
No, sir.
No sun, right? Now this is what chitta is all about. So you cannot cut off the chitta. You being the chitta, you cannot cut off anything there.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have left with only 3 other things. That is buddhi, buddhi and ahankara and manas. Manas is the water. Manas is the water.
Okay.
It will show whatever is there. If dirt is there, dirt is shown. If no dirt is there, there is no dirt. Which is like a screen of the movie.
Okay.
The light in that theater is the chitta. Got it?
Okay.
Who is watching the movie? Whoever says that I am watching the movie is the ahankara. Okay. Now what happens here is that the chitta gets purified by knowledge, by jnana, coming through or associating through the buddhi. The buddhi gets refined now. It is able to discriminate between real and unreal. Okay. Now what happens here is that the buddhi stops to give food to ahankara, saying that this is me. It is able to see water is different and the bucket is different. And it can see the sun. So when I was talking to all of you without but on Monday and Tuesday, that if you were to see this bright light, you will know who you are.
Yeah.
That is what is the reflected consciousness all about. And you will see it if you close your eyes and if you bring your eyelid to the center, and suddenly you will see a dazzling light there. And it is brighter than any sun you have ever seen in your life. And it is very calming also, because that is what is there in the bucket or in that water. Okay, so now what are we trying to do then? Not to feed the ahankara. That's all we are trying to achieve. Now you have two marga. One is through bhakti, one is through jnana. Either you give jnana to that intellect, you means the chitta gives the jnana to the intellect, and intellect and chitta becomes one, and in that way the ahankara will exit because it was false, and then what is appearing on the manas is pure light. No movie is being played on the screen. It's just light. Or go by bhakti, whatever guru or sampradaya or Krishna or Rama or whatever you want to take. Surrender you that ahankara to that deity or that quality or whatever you are trying to follow. And then you will come to the same point wherein the reflected consciousness is seen. And when you see the reflected consciousness, that is when the chitta is shining on the manas, which is the container, then all kalmasha, which is nothing but impurities, will go away. What do you think?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Bhatt and Lata, anything you want to add or delete, modify? CRUD operation.
So, the ego can be really cut if your vasanas and samskaras are also kind of thinned out, isn't it? Otherwise, it will not allow.
Yes, since vasana cannot be removed directly, the samskaras cannot be removed directly, you approach it through intellect only. So first you do the chitta
Yeah,
shuddhi.
what I'm trying to say is, unless first you do so you have to thin out the vasanas, and then only this ego has
Yes.
can be tamed.
No, it is not taming.
Otherwise, it will not allow.
No, it is not about taming. No, Lata, it is not about taming. What you are doing is you are not giving food to the ahankara at all.
Right.
So the light is not falling on ahankara. So without any light falling on ahankara, nothing can come there.
Yes.
Only
Irrespective of the vasanas.
irrespective of vasana.
Yeah.
That's correct. Irrespective of the vasana. Because you cannot remove all the past vasana, right?
That's not possible. First of all, you don't even know what kind of vasanas and samskaras you have.
Exactly. So what you can do is you can make that chitta light not falling on those vasana itself.
Vasanas.
So without that it cannot grow anyway. So now your chitta vritti is gone. There is no vritti, movement. So the moment I say I'm going to Hubli and I'm attending a function, I'm doing this, how many eyes are coming? But that is a conventional reality. So even if it's Jivan Mukta, that person has to still use eye. There is no other way to explain.
Yeah, that's fine. So actually, if you are a real Jivan Mukta, then you really feel
Yes.
that you are not going anywhere. You really
Exactly.
feel it. It's not imagining.
It's not imagination. So today when I was talking to my wife, she was saying that how it is not possible. I said, you practice, it becomes possible. You will come to know. The same topic we had a discussion. So we spent more than 1.5 hours on this topic, or almost 1.5 hours, if not more. So
Yeah, so I think we can keep on talking, and you will not reach a conclusion unless and until you see for yourself the Ishvara.
absolutely. So she went to the restroom and she was thinking, and she came back and said, you are a very theoretical person.
So yeah, so at least if you are able to, if you had seen that Ishvara at least once,
You
then whatever you say makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense at all. It's only an intellectual, mental, imagination, visualization.
Yes. So she kept on thinking, and then she came back. No, this portion I don't agree with you. I said, no problem. Don't agree with me. Then I gave her an example of going from one room to another room. She said that, no, you are going to the room. It is quite evident. How can you say that you are not in any room? Then I said to her, yes, madam, you are very right. You try, you will get it. So otherwise, what is the Sakshi Bhava there then?
Yeah. So no. What I'm trying to say is, we can keep on discussing,
Yes.
and it is convincing to each one of us only if that knowledge comes on your intellect,
Yes.
your own intellect.
Yes, absolutely. No matter how much we do, what we do, how much we can give examples or whatever, it's not going to make any sense. Because it has to come to that person. So what Padma Shri asked is a very appropriate question. Appropriate means perfect question. Then why are you going? Aren't you fooling yourself? And the answer is yes, absolutely fooling myself. Because there is no other way to answer to that. It's a perfect question, or a very appropriate question. That is how we should question also. That is right. But if we see from these four, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahankara and Manas, and we have clarity on what these four are. So when that, if you look at the Nirvana Shataka, he says, neither I am Chitta, because that is a reflected consciousness, and that's the reason he said Chitta also is not there. Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. So he has gone beyond Chitta also, which is Ishvara. So Jivi Jagat Ishvara, going to Hubli is Jagat, considering everyone as a Jivi is a Jivi, considering everything as a Ishvara is still an Ishvara, which is realization, not liberation. It's not Jivan Mukta. So if I have seen Ishvara, it means I have seen only the reflected consciousness, not the original one. Only the Pratibimba is seen now, not the Bimba. If there is experience of Bimba, then all confusions are gone at once. That is Jivan Mukta.
Yeah, so the other thing is, you explained all this Chitta, then Buddhi, Ahankara, Manas and all that. So this you need to understand all that Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and not theoretically, but you have to understand and should be able to
See
see it in your own
Yes.
mind.
Yes. So what?
Then only you will understand what is ego.
Yes, absolutely. Then only you know what is feeding the ego.
Right.
Otherwise, like what Padma Shri asked, it becomes an intellectual understanding or a mental game only, because that is what is coming into that screen. So no matter how much I beat it, it is the same one. It is no different. So what he says in this 426th verse is that Brahma akaratya sada tithaya nirmukta bahyat dehe Anya Vidita Bhogya Bhoga Kalanaha Nidralavat Balavat Swapna Lokita Lokavat Jagat Tidam Pashyam Kvachit Labdhahi Aste Kaschit Ananta Punya Phala Bhuk Dhanyaha Saha Manyaha Bhuvi. So what it means is that on account of renunciation, the saint, the Jivan Mukta, will do these three. He treats like one in sleep. So when in the waking state, he will sleep to the world, not really sleep as sleep. So this is what is there in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which says that when the world awakens, the yogi sleeps, and when the yogi sleeps, the world is awakened. Then he becomes a child. Child of what? The reflected consciousness is playing with its original son, like a mother and the child. And he treats the whole world as a dream. So what happens here? He has seen the illusion, he has seen the illusioner, and just to kill time in the samsara, he interacts with the world. So what is this world? Kvachit, now and then. What happens? He sees it as movement only. If there is anything called as a world, it moves. If he is there, there is no movement. So he sees the world of objects, names and forms, relationship, etc. Comes and goes and comes and goes and comes and goes. Kaschid, someone, such a person who is a Jivan Mukta, he knows that the only reality is he not being there. So that means he does sleep, be like a baby, consider the world as just a dream. If he can do that, he is the most revered person in this earth, because he is not associated with anyone at all in whatever way the person has been assumed it to be. Okay, so we are at 9:24. We can spend another 2-3 minutes on this, and maybe on Wednesday we will start on the 427. Any questions or anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, so during this stage, what we are talking, you are going to Hubli and back and all that. Some part of mind also we are using, right? Because we are dealing with this world. Isn't it? I just wanted clarification.
Yes. See, you know there is world, but it's a dream. So just consider that going to Hubli and coming back to Bangalore and going there, going here, meeting all the people as a dream. That's all.
Yeah.
So it is like, right now we are driven by our minds. Okay, whatever the mind says, we do. We go with the mind. We flow with the mind. Everything, we are the mind. If you really see all of us, that's the way we operate. But once you get that realization, the mind will become your slave. And you can direct it in whichever way you want. That's the way I understand it. So mind has to be used. Mind has to be used, but then you will be in control of the mind. I don't know if you have seen that my video I've sent of Sarvapriyananda, how those impulses will come. Right? So it will come on its own. It's not that you are thinking it up. It comes on its own and you have a window of opportunity to direct it. So if that direction is actually you're directing your mind in some particular way. Otherwise you go along with your mind in whichever way it drives. So the mind anyway has to be used. If you are living in this world, we have to use the mind, whether you are a Jivan Mukta or if you are not a Jivan Mukta also.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
But to a silent.
Yeah, today.
No, listening is a lot of good discussion is happening. Always me alone. Traveling Vilas.
Probably.
No, nobody's troubling.
Yeah. As per spirituality, nobody is troubling anyone. That I have understood.
No, if I consider all of your questions as trouble, then I require training myself.
You require
Training myself.
training.
Vilas would be another guru to guide him.
Yeah, if I even
But
get...
it is the word generally used.
No, that is correct.
From where that sound comes? Chicken sound.
That is coming from Sri Hari's home.
Is it something calling bell or it is?
No. He is in his hometown. You should see his palatial home in his hometown. Very nice place.
Oh.
I
I should show some. So you should show some picture from
no,
outside
he
and all that.
he can put on the video and you can see.
Sometime next time, yeah.
Next time. So he has a real palatial, he has a rocking chair of his great grandfather. And unfortunately, that day what happened is that he was sitting in a very royal crown and he put on his video instead of audio.
Oh,
And we were discussing about why something is not happening and why something is like this and like that. And our friend comes up like, that usual Telugu movie hero who will be sitting and watching on a rocking chair and ultimately says what needs to be done. So he was in that attire on that day. Okay.
Actually, there was a malfunction in the mouse, so I was trying to unmute, but it happened.
Yes. Okay, anyway, I need to jump to the meeting at 9:30. So we will then meet up on
okay then.
Wednesday.
Have a nice trip to Hubli. See
Thank you.
on, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Thank you
Thank
then.
you. Bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye.